I'm doing Depp vs. Heard, entertainment, pop culture. First of all, I can't believe I missed this article from My London, and it says disrespectful fans mob Johnny Depp at Jeff Beck's South London funeral. Well, this is actually tricky. It seems like, and you'd probably think I'd sit here and say something like, well, those are the bad fans, and we've got to let everybody know that we're the good fans, and that was terrible. But here's the problem. The whole problem today with the world, Democrats versus Republicans, right versus left, this versus that, is you don't really put yourself in the other person's shoes and think about it hard enough. So I will say this. There were definitely people there taking advantage, their YouTube channel, their Instagram, their Twitter, and things like that. Definitely. But I think there were some people there who wanted a once in a lifetime opportunity, first of all, to see Johnny in person, second of all, to possibly shake his hand or something like that. Now, the people using it for clout, attention, and things, yes, those are the bad fans. That's obvious. You should never go to a funeral and use it for personal gain. We're against that. But I think for some people, it might be more complicated. There's a little group called the Beatles. Some of you guys might have known about them. And what the Beatles had was crazed fans. It's almost like you would look at a Beatle and you'd think they were beyond human level. Next level, godly human ascendance. And I think something like that probably happened with Johnny and a few other huge actors. But you can't just be like Lizzo or Will Smith or Taylor Swift and really get to that next level. So I've got a little story about somebody who I would swear on my wife, my kids, my mother's memory, if you had a guillotine to my neck and I was going to die and I had to tell the truth, this is one of the best people I've ever met in my life. A very law-abiding guy. He'd get mad if you blew a red light. He's just one of the best people in the world. But he did something, well, a little questionable when he actually got a chance to touch a Beatle. What happened was he had the opportunity after a show to get close enough to Ringo Starr to actually touch Ringo. And what he did was he pushed a couple out of the way pretty hard. Turns out the woman was actually pregnant. I don't know if you knew this. Maybe, maybe not. But the fact is, it's something he would never, ever normally do in his life, aside from the fact that he views the Beatles, as a lot of us do, as I kind of do, a little bit more than human. That next level of stardom, where if you just like touch a Beatle, or if you just like shake hands with Johnny, or you just see them in person, it's an event to remember till the day you die. And that's a fact for some people. And that type of person was definitely there at this funeral. They didn't mean bad. They didn't want to put it on social media. They didn't really care if anyone else even knew about it or saw them do it, but they wanted to be there to take a chance just to see Johnny in person, and in the best case scenario, shake his hand or pat him on the back or something like that. And those people, I don't think really meant to disrespect Jeff Beck, use it for themselves, things like that. It's kind of just something in your mind. It's this obsession to the next level. There's no telling who they are, so I'm going to assume probably half of them were there. Now, it's easy for you and I to sit here and say, I'd never do that no matter what. It's somebody's funeral. But it's a little harder if you're like 20 minutes away and your friend's like, guess what? We've got a chance to see Johnny in person, maybe shake his hand, maybe pat him on the back or something, but we gotta go to Jeff Beck's funeral to make that a possibility. And I think presented that option, in reality, some people might take it not meaning bad. But anyway, let's see what the article says here. Fans that mob celebrities at Jeff Beck's funeral in South London have been called disrespectful and a disgrace. The late rock legend's funeral took place on Friday, February 3rd at St. Mary's Church in Wellington and was attended by several celebrities. Okay, So it was at a church. It was, I guess, somewhat of a public venue, somewhat of a public place. Now, that's not an excuse, but obviously, if the place is easily accessible to the public, you've got to expect some people to show up. Beck passed away peacefully at the age of 78 after contracting bacterial meningitis. Johnny Depp, Ronnie Wood, Sir Tom Jones, Sir Robert Stewart, Eric Clapton, Bob Geldof, and the Pretenders founder Chrissy Hine were among the funeral. Among those present at the funeral. Fans reportedly couldn't resist the opportunity to see the stars in the flesh, with many of them waiting outside the service for a picture opportunity. Many have criticized the fans and called them disrespectful, taking to Twitter to express their anger. And yeah, on the whole, I agree, but I gotta say, I'm specifically talking about Johnny here. Now, this is my opinion. However, it looks like, judging by the list, the only one I think comes close to Johnny as far as that real legendary fame people will go crazy for is Eric Clapton. I love Eric Clapton. He's one of my favorites of all time, but I still think Johnny is a little bit higher and probably higher on the level of having this fandom who thinks, like I said, they're a little bit ascended from human level. Fans reportedly couldn't resist the opportunity to see the stars in the flesh, with many of them waiting outside the service for a picture opportunity. Many have criticized the fans and called them disrespectful, taking to Twitter to express their anger. They go on to mention that Jeff's last performance was with Johnny, which is a good thing despite everything else. And a lot of people said things like there was a time and a place. And yeah, I get that. I get that. I'm just saying there's two types of fans that were there. You've got the grifter or the general fan who just doesn't care. And like I said, you've got these fans who are following Johnny who just look at him like they'll do anything to get to see him. They don't actually mean anyone harm, and they'd rather not go to a funeral to get a chance to meet Johnny or, touch Johnny, but they've decided that in the end, they'll do what they got to do. And this person here says, what about privacy? Yeah, in the end, they should have left Jeff and Johnny and everyone else alone. But it seems like if you have it in a church that anyone can go wait outside, then some people will, and you should be aware of that. And they end with this one here. Others felt that Johnny Depp does enough for his fans and should have been left in peace on this occasion. Someone else said fans couldn't give the man some respect on a day of grieving. Please, he does a lot for his fans. He is at a funeral of a very close friend. Give him the respect of some kindness and peace for the few hours. Condolences to Jeff Beck's family. And Johnny. Alright, well that's a good comment. Not mad, not really confrontational against people who went, but just, saying, hey, it would have been best if you guys did this. So, like I said, in the end, everyone should have left the place alone, left Johnny alone, left Jeff's family alone. However, I have an understanding for people who are thinking, well, Johnny's got 40 million fans or something. How many chances am I going to get to meet somebody or see someone in person I've been following for 20, 30, 40, 50 years even, or something like that? And you might just take that chance. And you might feel bad about it. You might not want to be there. You might not want to take that chance at someone's funeral. But, the urge and the opportunity, I guess, overtook some people who are probably otherwise good people. And yeah, there were some grifters using it for Twitter, using it for followers, and things like that. And those are the bad ones. Let me know what you think down below. Hope that made sense. Obviously, I think it's more of a complex issue than people like to make of it. People like to say, bad, 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 go away, go away, go away. But I like to think it out. Alright, kind of a rant. Done here for now. If you're not subscribed, consider it. If you don't, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.